Let me bring somebody who was right there, did all of the work, represented the country with pride and joy. Let's go to Leicester. That's where Super Falcons defender Ashleigh Plumptre is chilling. She joins us now live on the show. Good evening, Ashleigh. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gosh, you made all the emotion come back to me when you were going through that game again. Gosh.
I know, I know. It was so emotional, but shout out to you and your teammates. You gave Nigeria a good representation. We're proud of you, ladies. We love you for, standing up and letting them know who we are right there in Australia. Ashleigh Plumptre, what sort of experience was it for you?
Oh, you know what? I've only been back for a day, and it's still quite hard to almost like sum up everything that I felt over that 5 week period. I feel as if it's something that, it's going to take me a couple of days to like let all the emotions kind of sink in. Yeah, but going there and I think I've written it on my social media recently is just everything I talk about really is just that group of women that I was competing alongside. I mean, they are some of the most talented and resilient women I've ever met, and I feel like I was only able to be able to perform the way that I was able to because of those women that I was surrounded by. Yeah, I think we went into that tournament into obviously a very tough group, and not many people expected us to be able to get the results that we did. But for us to have that self belief, in spite of all of that, it just goes to show, like, if that's what we're doing, and that we're putting those kind of performances out against teams like that at the World Cup, then this is something now that we want to be striving towards on a consistent basis now.
And you went on the socials and you said that you don't like it when people say African football is boring, that we don't get to attack. With what the Super Falcons did at the World Cup, have you women made a statement?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I feel like after the game, I made that comment because I constantly hear, and before I even joined the team, I just hear that people talk about African footballers just being a very physical game, and people neglect the actual technical side, which genuinely, being on this team, I'm around some of the most technically talented footballers I've ever been around. Like, they really bring me up in so many ways. I feel like it actually was a challenge for me when I first joined the team because, especially being a defender, going up against some of those attacking players, they challenge me more. They make me a better defender having to be against them because they're not just fast and quick, but the way that they can manipulate the ball is unreal. So yeah, I think obviously with 3 African teams making it out of the group, we can see, these teams aren't just like pushing their way through games through like brute force, which is what people have been almost like making the assumptions about African teams before. It's like very well worked, well tactically put together game plans for us to be able to get the results against these big teams and cause the shocks that people keep talking about.
No, I know. I'll ask you one question before we go to my colleague in Lagos, Ashleigh Plumptre. You came so close to scoring against England, and the woodwork saved them. Let me tell you this: I've watched that highlight more than 10 times, and the sound of the ball when it struck the woodwork is still right here in my head. Ashleigh, what sort of moment was that for you?
Um, Honestly, that has been replaying in my head over and over since the game. It's that what if, what if it went under the bar? What if? But I guess it's football, isn't it? But honestly, when that ball came out of the box, there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to hit it. Obviously, normally, like being a defender, you don't normally get in positions like that to be able to get a strike like that. So I definitely took my opportunity. And at first, when I hit the ball, I couldn't actually see it because there was a defender in the way. So I kind of like just looked around the corner. I think I carried on running and just looked and saw the keeper go up for it. And I thought that like she's gone up for it, but it's gone over her and it's gone in the back of the net. But yeah, obviously hit the bar and we still were on the attack. So I always had to like recover from the shot pretty quick and get myself in a position where I could, actually have another shot after that. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up the game. Like you said, we hit the woodwork a couple of times, and I said in a post-match interview as well that I think we had the better chances compared to England, and just unfortunately it just didn't go in on those occasions. But my goodness, I feel like we gave the performance to be able to get the result, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have that right here in my head, and I know it's not going anytime soon. You're amazing, Lagos. We'll take it from here.
Okay, Ashleigh, thanks for joining us once again. And let me be honest with you. Before the tournament, there were many skeptics. I mean, includes myself. I wasn't too confident. And all the drama going on between the football, governing body here in Nigeria and the coach. How did the team ensure that all of that drama didn't affect? Because it was obvious from your performance, from the performance of the team, that confidence was high. So how were you girls, ladies, how did you do it that all of this drama didn't affect performance?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good question. And I think, again, in the performances that everybody was able to see, it sums up the characters that we have on the team. Obviously, during the tournament, before the tournament, during the tournament, we had conversations internally just as a group of players, and a lot of people, voiced their opinion, but we all collectively agreed that we were going to focus on trying to get the results that we wanted and put in the performances that we wanted, in spite of everything that was going on off the pitch. Everything that has kind of been in the media has been something that we've been having to deal with for a while now, and it's not something we ever disregard. But I think this was the perfect opportunity for us to show what we're capable of, and almost hopefully get the respect of people to know that we were able to do that even with the difficulties that were kind of put in front of us. So I'm just proud of the team for that. Like, when it came to actually being on the pitch, I felt like everybody, there wasn't one player who felt like they couldn't put as much onto the pitch as they could, because I felt as if it almost like galvanized us a little bit, to be honest, because it was hard for all of us, but because we were all going through the same thing, it was kind of like, well, now it's just down to us to get through it, put in the performances that we want, and try and show the world what we were capable of in spite of the difficulties.
All right, let me throw this in. It's hard not to talk about the game. I try as much not to talk about it because it brings back the pain. We're so close yet so far. With the benefit of hindsight, is there anything you feel we could have done, should have done, that could probably have given us victory?
Yeah, like you said, hindsight's a nice thing, isn't it? But I feel as if, looking at the game, like me personally, I don't know what the other players would have said. Like, I felt as if, like when the penalties ended, I thought, it was obviously very disappointing, but I felt proud of every player because we gave out all that we could. Like, I can't say that I left that game with any regrets because I felt like I gave all of myself and everything I was able to give on that pitch. I think the only thing obviously I've been thinking a lot about the what ifs. So I've even thought about when I hit that strike, I'm like, could I have got over the ball more so it would have dipped and gone into the cross? But in the moment in football, you don't really have time to think about that stuff. But I guess when we went down to 10 players, England went down to 10 players, sorry. I think we probably could have been a little bit more patient with trying to work the ball, because obviously England then were just being defensive. They didn't really have a lot going forward, and they were almost trying to see it out to penalties. So I think we necessarily had to rush to find a goal. I always felt like it was coming, and I said that to Uche, I said that to Rash, like the players on the pitch that were being so successful going forward. I'm like, it's okay, like don't be frustrated. Like a goal was, I genuinely believed a goal was going to come. So I think in that respect, because we had more possession of the ball, we probably could have been a bit more patient instead of forcing it at times. But yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, we did all that we could. But yeah, I guess the defensive tactic for England worked for them, because yeah, they were hanging on to get to penalties, and ultimately they did what they set out to do. But yeah, it's maybe patience would have been a better thing for us, but that's something that we'll learn from. And like you said, England are European champions, and they've been through penalties and things like that in big moments, probably more than what I've experienced anyway. So we'll learn from it.
All right, let me throw this in quickly. Watching the game, we're not on the field, you were, and I mean, you had a front row seat, so you could be able to tell us. Talking about patience that you alluded to, it appeared like there was a switch, a change in tactics, players, I mean, the right back, Sadesina on the left, Ajibade you talked about, started playing as a wing back, looked like somebody was playing behind Oshola. Some people felt if we kept to what we were, the approach and the style we had before the red card, maybe. Do you think that is responsible anyway?
Honestly, like I actually like that we went into more of like a 3-5-2-ish when they lost a player, and I felt like that was a good idea initially, because I feel like we were really successful in the wide areas. And I just feel like if we could have maybe got the ball into those positions more to get more crossing opportunities, it would have helped. I feel like we were really good in the air as well. I felt like we probably could have got something from crosses. But no, I don't think in that moment, I don't think there was a wrong decision or anything. Because I felt as if like every player on the pitch had success in their own right. So even when we changed formations, I feel like we were still getting success. I just think, maybe next time, I feel like it was probably more of a patient approach rather than feeling like we had to go forward, rush to go forward.
Yeah. Let me bring it to you, Ashleigh, and your playing style. When you joined the team, you used to be central defense. At Leicester, you're central defense. Now with your height, every coach want to put you at central defense. But I saw you do the left back-ish. Can you explain to me what's going on? Did you prefer that role?
I'll be honest, going into the tournament, I was really nervous being at left back, because obviously it's not the position I play at my club. Like the only time I play left back is when I'm with Nigeria. And obviously being on the international world stage in a position that I don't normally play in obviously makes me very nervous. But I feel as if, like I always go back to the Ivory Coast game, which was my first competitive game, and I remember them saying, like, you're against a really good winger. I had all these thoughts in my head. I'm like, gosh, this is a new position, you know. But at the end of the day, like, I had belief from the coaching staff and my players that my teammates, that they felt like I could do a good job there. So the fact that I had the belief of them made me feel a little bit better about it. And then once I knew that's where I was going to go, it's like, well, I know I always said to myself, I know you're nervous, Ash, but like at the end of the day, all you can do now is do the best that you possibly can in that position. And to be fair, like I had a lot more freedom, like being able to go up and down the pitch, I actually really enjoyed. Whereas at centre back, I don't normally get that freedom. So no, I actually really, really liked it.
I know, as I could tell, you bust the role. So good job, Ashleigh. I've got just one more minute to let you go with what you did at the World Cup. I don't know about your future at Leicester City women's team, but I'm sure your agent's phone will be buzzing. What's going on?
Yeah, funnily enough, my dad is my agent, so he has to deal with all that side of stuff. Yeah, I left Leicester at the end of this season. Obviously my hometown club, so I enjoyed my experience there for sure, and I'll go back. And again, I didn't really get to say bye to everybody when I left for the World Cup, so I'll go back in the next week or so just to say bye to everybody. But yeah, nothing's been released yet about my next club. I wanted to not have a distraction while I was at the World Cup. I wanted my full focus on that. But yeah, in the coming weeks, it will be released. And yeah, no, I'm really excited. I feel like I've chosen somewhere that aligns with. It always has to come down to this for me. Like, it has to align with who I am as a person. Like, I have to know about what the values are of the environment and the people that I'm playing for. And obviously I can't say yet, but I'm really looking forward to a new challenge.
Yeah, when Kelly scored that penalty and it was over for Nigeria at the World Cup, Ashleigh, did you cry? You
know what? I cried before every game, but after that game, I didn't cry because I felt very disappointed, obviously, but I just felt so proud and so grateful to have had that experience with that team. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashleigh Plumptre. As I said earlier, we're proud of you and the team. Stay focused and keep winning. Thank you.
Thank you.